Start the beat.
My pitch is perfect, and I wanna know what you think, because if I can't do this on BandLab Auto-Tunes, then what can I achieve? It's chromatic, ill-advised, down in the pits of hell is where I come from. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's get this devil on the floor. Gonna get up, get down. Gonna get up, get down. Let's go. Here we go now. It's the Jimmy James Show. What's that be telling you? What's that be telling you? What's that be telling you?
Hello there, family and friends that are family and family that are friends. This is Eddie with the TBD Network, also the TBD Podcast Network. The TBD Network is a thinkers podcast covering subjects and ideas that can advance the mental fortitude and critical thinking in an effort to further humanity through casual conversation. But right now, you are listening to the Jimmy James Show, A to Z. Have a good one.
Oh, thank you.
He scores! Necklace backstroke. Delay slides it across. Carlson snaps it through. Scores! Oh my heavens, how did he find the hole? Top of the crease, it comes to heaven. 8 seconds to go. Fire the bat. They score! What a goal! Steven Stamkos! The AXHL Wired, your home for everything AXHL related and real life sports talk. Brought to you weekly with your hosts, BARDOWNNINGA, Rocky, and Vaughn. Stream on Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon Music, or wherever you get your podcasts.
It is now time to explain to people just what's wrong with me. Yay!
I know what it's like to lose. Feel so desperately that you're right, yet to fail nonetheless.
What the hell was the name of this raplet again? I'm totally lost, friends. I think it was something to do with lying. Oh, there we go, the illusion of truth, part 3 or 4, I'm actually not sure. But I am sure about one thing: I'm breathing in and breathing out, I'm breathing in and I'm breathing out. And I say that in all seriousness because I never breathed in twice and then breathe out once. But that's not true. Learning meditation teaches you techniques about breathing. I wonder who I'm talking about now, do you? Watch the fucking show, and if you haven't, I'm talking about the dude. Let's just call him Iron Man. No, that's too good for him. Let's call him the genius. That's even better because it makes sense and it doesn't, and it's comical, and it's a shame and it's a pain that I have to waste so much of my time talking about this instead of getting to the plot in the middle and the twist. I feel like I should have some kind of Beethoven or J.S. Batch on my spinning disc, some sort of melody where I am holding a knife chasing people ever so slightly, but as I dance to the music and sway back and forth with a weird-ass laugh. Be right back, need to do something. 3.5 hours later, Guy returns to tell the rest of this story. Hey, what's up guys, I'm back. I'm Guy, your storytelling, well, pretty much your raplet extraordinary, out of this world, feeling great right about now, like sitting around the pile leaves eating grapes in the middle of May. Sometimes I'm better than I say, sometimes I'm shittier, and what I mean But as long as Google teaches me how to dismantle 3 bodies and gets rid of them by tonight, I'll just be so fucking happy. Should I hope I didn't put that in this illusion with a twist and a curse, or what was it again? Illusion of truth, that's it. Well, anyway, nobody's going to hear this. Hold on, please set my door. Alright, I've said it and I've said it enough. Don't worry, this will not be poetry raplet shit in a Pringles bag with a touch and a splash of torment. What do I mean about that in particularly, you might be asking yourself? How does this add up to what this episode details and or envisions for illusion or maybe the truth? Sit back, relax, and I will show you how a master of one's reckoning can turn the tide just by speaking from experience. Mainstream media, then hop to escape to a jump to a punch in the fucking face to the whole world. I believe this world is a beautiful place, but for now it is sitting at the lowest ranks of disgrace. And before you taste my utter and sorrow that is my soul, I will try to bring you some joy in this. So listen up or listen, in this is the rap poetry that you needed to pay attention. Finally, it is here, there's nowhere to hide, your numbers up, I see you and we're about to collide. Maybe not physical attraction, mostly gravitational pull from the sun or something terrifying. This is the Jimmy James Show and I will speak no more other than this. This is not the raplet, this is not poetry, there is no twist, I give you Jimmy James. This motherfucker either hits or misses. But one last thing before I let you loose off your chain, I hope you and your brain can understand to maintain a functional fluidity in this upcoming demonstration of grace that is taking this person over 4 years to talk about something that has been on his radar. Neither here nor there has he ever talked about it, so this is the first ever exclusive. The Jimmy James Show, the illusion of truth, the illusion of time, the illusion of everything all bound into one, so he can tell you for the very first time. So sit back and relax as Jimmy James will get on the mic and explain to you what you've been waiting to hear for 4 years and 3 episodes deep. It's time to stop this beat, it's time to stop mentally who is mental state now. Without further ado, I bring to you the person who brought you insanity at its finest on podcast alone. And yes, the challenge still stands to anybody who could. Well, I cannot tell you what else there needs to be said, all I will tell you is this. Please maintain from trying to hearing what he says, but listen with an open heart, open soul, open ear, but most of all just be open, that's all he asks. There's no riddles, no jokes, no nothing, so that is all I will say on this. Next up is Jimmy James, going to give you 30 minutes to 1 hour of him explaining his life story and how it began, who and what is it that he has, and how could anybody understand even in today's day and age. The very few is 10/15/1984 and today is June 23rd, 2024. Sit back once. Again, last thing, if you are the faint of hearts or if you just lost the loved one, maybe this is not the episode for you. I say this only because I care about what I'm about to say. This is a roller coaster ride of something we have yet never seen or heard. And Mr. Jimmy James has done his research once again, only finding 2 to 4 episodes worth of podcast that comes nowhere close to what he's about to drop on this podcast realm. And if I am still in the position I am in after I've dropped this story, I am very seriously thinking about walking away from this part of podcast, this part of life. This will show me whether I grow fans, lose fans, or maybe even go too far where I cannot even handle the responsibility I'm about to dish out. Enough has been said here. This is Jimmy James talking. And now let's get into the embrace of beginning, middle to end, and whatever is thrown in between, my friends. Sincerely, Jimmy James, and a fair warning to you and any new listeners out there. Sensitive topic. This will be segment 1 coming up out of 3 segments. Let's go.
Alright. Oh, this is not it.
This is it. I just want to show you guys, before I get into anything, here's a 30-second opening credits from a podcast. I will name the podcast and everything, but this was the opening credits to this podcast. Here it is, right here.
Empath and Psychic Abilities, a survival guide for highly sensitive people. Guided meditations to open your third eye, expand mind power, develop intuition, telepathy, and clairvoyance. Written by Mindfulness Lodge, May Rowland, and Sai Chakrabarti. Narrated by Lizzie Richards. Text copyright Mindfulness Lodge. Part 1. Enhance your psychic abilities. Introduction. You are standing next to your window, watching the world.
Alright, there's going to be a couple parts that I tune into here. Like I said, the last time this was even remotely updated was, well, it was an audiobook, I guess, Mindfulness Lodge, included in premium, okay? The year was 2020. I was just starting out. This is the closest I found. I haven't heard it yet, so I want to hear it with you.
Go by. You can see people walking down the street, old and young alike, each minding their own business. But you're sure of one thing. You're scared of being one of those people. If it were possible, you would rather spend your entire day in your apartment. In your experience, being around people can be extremely overwhelming.
I'm going to stop her there, meaning, sadly, she is absolutely correct. I went in plenty of these stages where I didn't want to be around people, but not what you think. Like I said, this has nothing to do with ADHD, even though I guess it fueled it to the point where I was very crippled by it. So like I said, this is just part 1, the introduction. I'm not going to play everything, but they're all short. I just want to get into the next one, which is how to develop your psychic abilities. And, but before I do any of that, let's listen to the rest of this.
Because you seem to go through a roller coaster of emotions. Each moment you spend out there, you are unsure of what emotion you will feel next. Frustration, excitement, grief, anxiety, joy, angst, annoyance, you name it.
That is also true. So far, that is true.
Thanks to your introspective mind, you have found that you only feel these emotions when you're surrounded by people. And it's precisely why you have developed a tendency of running away from them every time you get overwhelmed. There must be a deep cry from the depths of your soul. What am I?
Yeah, that played a part in my life. What am I? What's wrong with me? That's what I used to think growing up. And then as I aged, I didn't have Spotify, YouTube just to go on and check, and Google wasn't big yet.
You are an empath. You have the special gift of soaking up the energies floating around you and perceiving them as though they were your own. Being an empath is a gift, not a curse.
Now, you've heard me say this, it's a gift and a curse, and I always talked about ADHD, but secretly, I was hiding the fact that I never told you guys the full story. And like I said, once again, this is not a joke, this is me just really telling you guys, and some of my closer friends know, but not only to a certain extent. So I'm going to go over this whole thing and just point out its like how true it is. And it's not like something I'm like, I'm a bullshit detector. It's just the way it is. That's part of this gift. Plus, anybody can be a bullshit artist. The difference is what happens when it's happening to you.
So it is high time you learned more about your capabilities. Chapter 2. Intuition. Chapter 1. How to develop your psychic abilities.
Okay, I have no idea what this is about. It just says how to develop your psychic abilities. I never thought I was psychic, but I guess that's another term from empath. Now, I really wish you guys, just come on this ride with an open mind with me, and I can prove it to an extent, I guess, over this audio podcast show. And this is 8 minutes long, so I'm not going to try to play everything because I don't want to be copyrighted or anything, but I just want some key notes.
Although you have psychic potential, you still have to train yourself so that your skills may become finely tuned.
That is absolutely true, and I did not know that. I just kept doing it and doing it and doing it, not being told that part. I was never, ever told that part.
The following are some tips to help you enhance your psychic abilities. Meditate every day.
Yeah, you don't have to do that, but it all depends on the person. I never really tried to meditate. I can't because I have ADHD. Yeah, this is very hard to talk about. I just want to let you guys know that, and I also want to let you know that I usually never let anybody on this side of the door with me. Anybody. And this is the first show that I'm doing this. That's why I had to do 3 parts. To kind of, get you guys to the point of the bullshit with the universe and everything else, which I barely covered. But let's just carry on for a couple more minutes here. I'm going to let it play up until I hear something either crazy or it's absolutely right.
Meditation allows you to raise your vibration. The spirit energy vibrates at a high frequency. Through meditation, you can heighten your mental and spiritual powers and become capable of performing even greater psychic acts. Meditation is not a resource-intensive activity. You can pull it off almost anywhere. You just require a serene environment and some free time. Communicate with your spirit guide.
Okay, she says communicate with your spirit guide. I said this a couple times in the show. I believe everybody has 2. You at least have 1. You have 2, possibly up to even 6 spirit guides. You could have more, you can have less, but for the most part, for the common person who doesn't have this trait, skill, whatever, this gift, I think 2 is probably an average number. This is before what I'm hearing, and I swear to you, I have not heard this. This is the only one I found. I looked up every keyword, and this was the only, out of 4 podcasts, this was the only one. This is not even a podcast, this is a book.
Your spirit guide is basically an entity that protects you. They also enlighten you and make you insightful.
They can make you insightful by you not even knowing it. And the higher you go, I guess, through life, the stronger you get and the more connected you get to your spirit guide. Now, what is a spirit guide, right? I don't know if she's going to point out this subject or not, but a spirit guide to me is a loved one passed, and they look over you, and I don't know if this is like a funny thing or not, and I told you this is not about something to be funny. my niece died when she was 6. I told you guys about this, and she's always around me, and I don't know why. And there's more. I can count 3 at all times that at least I feel. I mean, like, that's it for right now. So let's keep going.
When you call on their support, you will increase your chances of achieving what you desire. Have a sacred place in which you meet your spirit guide.
You do not need a sacred space.
Use psychometry. Psychometry is the practice of decoding the energies of an object. If you can become skilled in this discipline, you will receive a tremendous boost to your psychic abilities.
Okay, I agree here to an extent, yes. If you do this enough, like I did, I started out with the digital recorders. Yes, it does happen. Yes, it is real. If you guys are just tuning into my show and you're like, what are you talking about? I can tell you this. 1, you're not going to find any episodes of me talking about this in this clear and being very open. This is a very hard subject for me to even talk about. I don't know if I'll be able to get through the whole thing. I was really hoping I could. It is 3:07 a.m. It's taken me this long just to push the play button. Let's just keep going.
Acquire an object that has sentimental value.
You don't need an object.
E.g., a wedding band. And try to envision the energies of the owner.
Okay, I gotta say once again, you do not need an object. You might in the beginning, maybe, I don't know. I was never taught that. I was never taught that. I taught myself. So I'm telling you stuff that I've taught myself over the years without no help. And I could see myself listening to this, being younger, and then grabbing things. I was cleaning my sister's urn, and I can feel emotion. I didn't know why until I was cleaning my sister's urn. And, so, I mean, I think there is truth behind this statement.
Flower visualization. You have strong psychic abilities. You have to improve your mind's eye. You can achieve this through flower visualization.
I don't know what flower visualization is.
The exercise entails picking up a few flowers and holding them in front of you.
Yeah, once again, I don't know what this is, you know. This is, like I said, it's hard to talk about. I'm going to be stopping right here. We're going to be jumping back in. This is only 2 minutes and 16 seconds. That's how many times I had to stop it just to give you guys like an idea. And this is like a 4-year-old episode. So I'll be right back after this segment.
Them separately. Random visualization. When you are done using the flower to strengthen your mind's eye, you may now explore some randomness. Just close your eyes and lie on your back in a serene environment, and invite your spirit guides to show you many great wonders of the universe.
Okay, I'm sorry about that. Okay, yeah, this is semi-true. I have gotten very comfortable, and I wasn't going to do this show tonight, and I was just going to lay down, and I was getting very emotional. I think it was because I had to do this show. And, you know, it's hard to put into words, and I hope this person, I don't know anything about this. I'll give you all the info at the end, I promise, but that's something I do. Sometimes I'll put the recorder on, I'll put it on I'll put earbuds in, and I'll just pass out. Most of the times I hear so much stuff going on, because depending on what my settings of my digital recorder is, that doesn't mean I need a digital recorder. Oh, here's a little side note, that there's so many times where I was doing the show, even the last show, about like 12 minutes in, where you can actually hear some of the spirits talking, and and it's like, is that the birds? Like, just some of it's too obvious, and it takes a long time to pick up what they're saying. It does. It really does. I want to see if she says anything about that.
Your spirit guides should show you magnificent images and videos.
Okay, images, yes. Videos, somewhat. I've asked them to show me images of things and see if I can guess it, like mountains, something. They told me I'm an empath. I learned that through spirits. Nobody told me that. Not one person. I didn't Google it. I didn't go like, what am I? I could do this and I can feel this. And no. I never did any of this. And like, I wanted to say before, but like, my nerves are starting to get to me. This is what happens, is that I am being 100% honest with you guys. I really hope you believe me. I'm not kidding, bullshitting, lying. I am not doing any of this. This is very hard to live with also. But like, I'll save that. Let me just keep going a little bit further here.
Take a walk in nature. Psychics feel a tremendous connection with nature. You could take a stroll in a nature park while practicing mindful meditation. Take occasional stops by sweet-smelling flowers and savor their beauty.
Yeah, I don't get the nature walks. I've been on plenty of them. Plenty. Yeah, you do feel things here and there, but there's nothing like a quietness. Now, for instance, I'm talking to you on a microphone. If I were to mute the mic and not play the video, I have my headset on, I have my air on in the background. I can begin then to hear spirits. I don't know why, I don't know how. They don't know either. They don't know why they're here, other than what I've discussed with them, meaning possibilities, meaning saying like, I'll just give you a couple examples. Maybe you're here and you don't know why you're here because you made some kind of an agreement, or you're not going to move on. And I don't know what the moving on is. Now, if I'm remembering right, what a spirit told me is that it's kind of scary. And I'm listening to them right now. Let me just play this and I'll see what I can pick up.
Lose yourself in the beauty of nature. Eliminate negativity.
Yeah. It's impossible, but okay.
You cannot tap into your psychic powers if you harbor tons of negativity. Eliminate your negativity by heightening your self-awareness and being more forgiving to yourself.
That is also very true. Eliminating your negativity is not something you're just going to do overnight unless you just get up and go. Alright? If you're in a toxic relationship, I give you... Honestly, I don't need to be a doctor, and I am not a doctor. So I want to make that clear. I have no PhD on anything, because it seems like a lot of people these days rely on it, like, well, they're not scientists. Like, what I'm saying is just gibberish. So it's not, sadly, and yeah. But I agree with that. Eliminate your negativity and see what you can accomplish. I always wondered, like, what if I took this ability and really focused on it and maybe used it for good? And I've done a couple of readings, which I'll get into. Let's see what else she has to say.
You also have to take the necessary steps to right the wrongs you have done. Once you're free of negativity, you're in the right headspace to employ your psychic powers. Believe in yourself.
That is absolutely true. You have to believe in yourself. There was times where I thought I was going absolutely crazy. I did talk about that a little bit. I mean, really just really crazy. And I never want to feel that feeling again. Now, in hindsight, it's funny because I go and, like, I could sit there and talk to my spirit guides all day. And it's so weird. I still bring it up to this day saying, isn't it weird that I can just talk to you guys? Like, I don't say dead people, even though, because they are people, I don't like using the word dead or like, you're dead people. Like, I'll say, I use their terminology. I actually learned it from them. You pass over, you passed on. Well, their words, I think, are that when you pass on, you'll see. Because I would have all these questions, like, well, what happens that? And then I would have this thing where, like, all right, give me one question a day. And then that was a thing for a while. And then I would stop asking questions because I've asked everything I can possibly know about the spirit realm.
You cannot become a skilled clairvoyant unless you have tremendous belief in yourself. One of the ways of increasing your self-belief is through reading about those before you who...
Yeah, real quick, I didn't mean to cut her off, but yes, that is true. And reading about those who came before you, I didn't know about that. The first time I've ever seen anybody close to what I had was just happened to be on YouTube. So that was something like, wow, like, I'm not the only one. And I've said that story before with ADHD, but I didn't tell you guys the whole story behind that.
Have succeeded. Find books written by successful clairvoyants and read about them so that you can become familiar with their stories. Learn their tricks. The more you study about successful clairvoyants, the higher your odds of becoming successful yourself.
See, right there, becoming successful yourself is not money. I don't want this shit to turn into money. No. Look, if you have the ability to talk to loved ones okay, let's say there's a 1 to 10 scale, alright? I'm gonna say I'm currently I could talk to spirits on a 5 to 6. Let's say you have, I'm just throwing that out there. I'm not saying that's 100% correct. But let's just say you're a 9 to 10. You're like the best. Yeah, maybe you should go out there and talk to people, cops, detective. And most of them are going to be, you know what, they're just not going to believe. They're going to be skeptic. I was too, of myself. But what happens when you start connecting pieces? Did you ever notice how clairvoyants also don't always get it right? Yeah, that's because it's hard as shit to hear. One, that's just one. Two, it is very hard to hear what they're saying, and two is you can get things wrong. It depends what they say. Some things sound similar. 3B, T, these things sound similar unless you have an EVP recorder, which can help tremendously. But if you're just freehanding this stuff, then yeah, I guess that would be success in helping the human, I guess the human species evolve, even though I think we had this trait for as long as we could remember.
Rest. Quality rest is absolutely necessary.
Okay, that's kind of weird that she said that. I am always tired. I say that to my friends on the crew. I'm constantly tired. I came downstairs, it would be yesterday, and I said to Chris, you guys know Chris, and I said to Jen, I'm like, Jen and Chris, I'm like, I don't understand, like, I've been getting up, and then I'm like, tired, and I'm taking supplements, I can't say the word. So you guys know I take Adderall. That balances out my ADHD. I don't sit there and take 30 milligrams, 60 milligrams. I don't do that shit. I never did. I never liked them, but they really do help. They helped me since I was 37 to beat the ADHD and the anxiety attacks, which was the most important. Sometimes you guys hear me going a mile a minute. I might just be taking a dose that I haven't taken in a couple of days. Sometimes I go days without it, but this is it's weird that I ran into this podcast, since this is like the only one I found, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to get it all in tonight, but I'm going to let her talk about this next couple minutes. I'll try not to interrupt unless it's important. So here we go.
The more you rest, the more energy you have to channel into your psychic activities.
True.
One of the best ways to ensure quality rest is by getting enough sleep. You should get at least 6 hours of sleep every night. This will ensure that your mind is well rested and you're in top physical condition. Having enough rest is crucial for the
I disagree. It's not physical condition, it's mental condition to me. I never feel physically drained. I feel mentally drained. So I don't know what she means by that, unless she's about to round it off to something else.
Development of your clairvoyant skills. Try to read other people's thoughts.
Yeah, that's that's fun, because that's what you want to do. You want to come down. The last. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut her off that quickly, but see, that's the problem. I might come down, and I have to keep. As a sales person, growing up in sales, eye contact is key. But as I grew, I also noticed, even now, I don't keep eye contact as much as I do. I really don't. It's because if I look into somebody's eyes, I can guess what's going on in their day. I can feel it. It just hits you. It's so weird. Yes, it is weird. It's not something you get used to in a lifetime. Alright? I'm running at 15 minutes. I'm gonna give her this last part, and then I'm just gonna go to the next segment. Here we go.
This is a perfect way of strengthening your clairvoyant abilities. When you encounter someone, just gaze into their eyes and try to imagine what they are thinking about. If you can accurately read people's minds, then you can rest assured that your psychic abilities are very well developed.
Awesome! I was trying to find the awesome button. Alright, be right back. This is the end of segment 2. We'll be going on segment 3. I don't know how much I can get through this, but I'm already like, alright, I gotta step away, I gotta step away. That's what it makes me feel like. Alright, coming up on 16 minutes, stay tuned for the next segment of Diving Deeper. First and foremost, I wanted to say sorry. I didn't realize I had it that high, the volume. I was muting myself, but I didn't realize I had the recording that high. So I'm going to continue. There's only a couple minutes left to end this segment. I'm already about an hour in. Let's see where we last were.
Keep track of your dreams. People with psychic abilities tend to dream a lot. After each dream, ensure you have noted it down on a journal. This will help you keep track of the dreams that came true. When you realize that your dreams are starting to become true, it indicates that your clairvoyant abilities are getting fine-tuned. Improve.
Sorry about that. I dropped something. Yeah, that is true. I actually know one person, who has these vivid dreams. They're not in-tuned, but they could be. And, I don't really have the dreams. I have them, like, right before I go to bed, I guess. I see these weird faces and pictures. I don't know how to explain it, but that could play a part. I don't know. I don't have any. I want to say I don't know too much about that part of it, but I do believe that is a key function. Let's keep going.
Your remote viewing capability. Remote viewing is the ability to view a place or an event through your mind's eye without you being physically present. To improve your ability of remote viewing, you have to make good use of your imagination. Start with viewing places near you, and when you get them right, you can move on to far-flung places and objects. Overcome your fears. If you have any fear in your mind, you will not achieve your full potential as a clairvoyant.
That is 1000% correct. I had no idea since I was 19 years old, having major anxiety, why I was getting it. It was very annoying. I mean, just people say, hey, I got ADHD, I got this. I always make fun and say, hey, you got the alphabet disease. It's really not funny. I wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy. So if you're driving along, or maybe you're just listening to me go on about this stuff, and you know somebody who has that I want to say, it's not a weakness, but to me it was. But once I did hit that level of achievement where I was like, I didn't even know it was a level. I just knew that, hey, I don't want to have these anymore. And I'm not going to tell the story on how it's actually kind of funny, but I don't have time to tell you the story on how I really stopped. Only a couple people, like I said, a handful of people know this. And I mean a handful, like 2 to 4. But let's see what else she has.
You have to eliminate the fear to be able to channel all your mental energies in your psychic activities.
True.
The first step toward eliminating fear is to increase your knowledge.
True.
The more you know about a situation, the less ignorant you are, and the more power and courage you acquire.
That is true in every situation.
Resolve your differences with those around you. If you have problems with other people, ensure that you resolve them. You cannot achieve your full clairvoyant potential when you're not at peace with yourself or other people.
This is a true statement. Sorry about that. I get the wires are getting light because I dropped the thing. Yeah, this is very true. I know people who... Jesus. 1 second. Yeah, so I know people who... I don't want to mention names. They know who he and she is, and I hope they get who I'm talking about here. And we had some intimate conversations about this. I believe you're picking up what I'm putting down to this one person that I know in real life, not through podcasting or anything like that. That's why I think the connection is so deep, is not because, oh, I understand you're having anxiety attacks. There's so much more to it. And we have said some, well, I have said some things, this person has said some things that were mean, and it's just like, well, you know, you're taking something out on me, which I know I can take. You know I can take it. I just wanted to know, have I ever done that to you? But then again, that's just not my character. That could be that person's character, and that way that they cope. And they're a couple years younger than me, so they could be still learning that part. I mean, then again, some people, and I mean this in general now, and to that person, some people go through more very tragic things that are hard to talk about or even hear. For example, I know if this person was here and was willing to say anything, there's many times that this person was like, I can show you this, I could for proof, and I would be like, no, I don't want to see that. It's not because I didn't care, it's just that I can't emotionally take that. It's very hard to deal with. And then you wind up saying, like, to yourself, like, I'm an asshole, like, I couldn't, like, listen to this person's problem, like, even though it was so much tragic than what I ever can, I can think of. So for that person, I always said, you're strong, you're smart, and you're probably one of the strongest people I know. And I'm not saying that to win any stickers or stars. I'm just saying that because this ties into that. Alright, let's get on to the last minute here without interruption.
Cast away the burden of bitterness and resolve your differences with those around you. This way, your mind is in a position to channel its energies into psychic activities. Practice seeing auras. This is another great exercise for improving your psychic abilities. Have your friend stand next to a plain-colored wall. Then, look at them using your third eye. Notice if you get to see their auric field. If they have a high vibration, their aura will appear bright.
Real quick, auras are tough for me. I am not an expert on auras. I just know feelings. I always ask the spirits, do we as humans have some sort of light thing that is around us? Like, if you look at a star out in the galaxy, it has a shift, and I'm like, I wonder if humans have that, but I have not gotten that part. I've never seen that or I don't know, I didn't have enough practice, or I've never practiced that enough. So that's it on that. Let's keep going. This is the last about 30 seconds or less.
Ask a friend to call you. Contact your friend telepathically and ask them to give you a call. The more mental energy you invest in this activity, the more likely your friend will call you.
Okay, this is not the friend calling, but this is like, there's like a couple of seconds left. There's so many times where I was like, you guys been in this situation? Do you ever think about something or somebody, and then all of a sudden you're talking to that person, you're calling that person? That's kind of like what we go through. But see, we all have what I have. It just depends on, like, what were you doing in life? I had the opportunity in life to really practice that. And like, just what came up in my head right now when I was thinking that, I wanted to, like, really, I just got mad at myself a little bit because of my personal life when I was growing up after the age of 20 and what I sacrificed. And if I told you guys what I really sacrificed, let's finish this out.
If an empath developed their psychic potential, they could end up becoming so skilled that a career along that line would be in order.
Yeah, I was talking about that earlier. That's the end of this one, and then we're going into
Chapter 2, Intuition.
Alright, so I'm gonna stop this. I thought I would be getting this out by Saturday or by this morning, but I didn't realize how much was left, and this is very tough for me to dive into because I'm gonna try to look for all the keynotes and just play the keynotes so I don't have to listen to the whole thing. And I'm thinking, like, should I release this and then I'll jump in? I was not planning on making a part 4, but this is the illusion of truth, and the thing is that there's so many different illusions of truth. That's why I was like, started it out all crazy, but this is the real me. This is the real Jimmy James. This is Jim talking to you guys without joking. To a point, really, I'm not. And if anybody's going through this and they need any help, please, like, if you feel like you're hearing voices, okay, don't sit there and assume, hey, I'm an empath, I'm a psychic. Now, if you feel like, all right, well, I've recorded it, I've heard it, I've had other people listen and confirm, then you're, still. But, I guess my final note would be, listen, whatever I just said in this whole video, which I don't know if I'm gonna put this out or keep this in for it's just gonna be a super max long video. I don't know yet. I don't know if I want to put this out and see where you guys feel hearing this stuff. Because, yes, you can make money. Yes, you can do that. But I never wanted that. I didn't even really start reading people until, like, the last year. And it's not scary. It's just weird when you're reading things that are so right. And when I say reading things, I mean, I'm not using my spirit guides or spirits to use that. They help. It's like these weird feelings. It's like me saying, I'll give this last example in this last 30 seconds here. I'm going to cut it off. I'll just be sitting there talking to you. I mean, I'm already going to know you went through something tragic. Alright? Everybody usually does. But it's kind of crazy if I just come off and start guessing what that is. And is it guessing? And no, it's not like mentalism or any kind of bullshit. It's real feelings that I'm picking up on. So keep practicing. If you're young, I would suggest talking to your parents. If you're 18 years or older, or younger, I'm sorry. If you're older than that and you feel like, hey, I don't know who to talk to about this, I was in your situation. Whatever you do, do not Google things and do stuff like that. I hope you listen to this show if you're new and like you just first heard me and you're like, I thought this was supposed to be about this and that. And usually I'm all like crazy and whatever. Right now, I am at the same capacity as I would be doing like basements of ramblings of a crazy person, something like that. That's the same amount of medicine I took. I could feel that hyperness coming on. You know, like if I wanted to, I also learned how to control it. And on top of that, I also know when I'm talking about this stuff, it's very consuming through my spirit, through whatever. The words aren't there for it because we don't have them. But that's it. Like, I'm running over an hour just on this. I wanted to get this done in an hour. Yeah, I put some crazy stuff at the beginning, but I like doing that. You know, I don't say this much, but like I like doing that mainly because I liked to weed out the people who are gonna listen through the bullshit, like, this is bullshit, and then I start talking about real shit that's going on. It's because I don't want people who don't understand, like, as much as you want to right now. I could feel somebody out there right now. This is part of my gift. I don't know why. You're out there right now and you're listening to me and you're like, that's what I feel, but I never knew how to explain that. Or I do feel this stuff. Like I said, I think we all felt this stuff. And I have a whole analogy on, you know, what could happen. And I might have talked about it, but honestly, guys, it's like coming up on 4 a.m, and I don't know what the hell's wrong with me right now. Honestly, I feel drained. Not because I'm talking about this in particular. I'm actually holding back by talking. That's why I said I wanted to stop 2 minutes ago. But I'm going to stop this at 18:30. We're at 17:45. So the next part, I guess, I'm going to do this in another part. So I guess it's going to be another part. Or I might just put this together as one long show that you guys can enjoy, so that way you don't have to wait, you know. I think that would be better. So like I said, one more time, I am not a doctor. This is just straight experience, alright? And there's no real doctor out there that can help you with this, you know, unless you're talking about these certain doctors. So with that being said, this is Jimmy James saying, like always, take care of yourselves and one another. Peace out. Have a great Sunday. Much love, much respect. And remember, somebody's watching you and looking after you. So when you feel like you might have an anxiety attack coming, breathe in through the nose, out through the mouth, 4 seconds, in and out, and you'll feel better, my friend. Take care. Once again, sincerely, Jimmy James.
I've shared some of my poetry/raplets to these AI language-based models, some like ChatGPT and Gemini Advance, and also Copilot. This, however, is Lisa from AI. And I am now going to share some of these PowerPoints. I'm only doing this one because it is a lot of work. But I'm using the Human Voice app, which I haven't used in a while, and it makes it a lot easier. Anyway, I asked not to be biased and to be brutally honest for the best of their ability, so here we go. Wow, Jimmy James. That's quite an introduction. I can feel your passion and creativity pouring out. I'll highlight some key points and offer some feedback. You're writing a philosophical, rap-inspired literary work, Rap-Lit, exploring the future of everything, humanity's impact on the planet, and our place in the universe. You're passionate about sharing your thoughts and concerns about the world's resources, sustainability, and our species' role in it. Your writing style is conversational, reflective, and poetic, with a touch of humor. You're using this work as a way to process your thoughts, hopes, and fears about the world and our collective future. You're eager to share your ideas and inspire others to think critically about our impact on the planet. Some suggestions to maintain fluidity and clarity. Use paragraphs and line breaks to separate ideas and create a sense of flow. Vary sentence structure and length to keep the reader engaged. Use vivid imagery and metaphors to illustrate your points. You're already doing this in some places. Consider adding headings or section titles to guide the reader through your journey. Embrace your unique voice and style. It's engaging and authentic. Keep writing, Jimmy James. Your passion and creativity are infectious. I'm excited to see where your work takes us. This is another one I shared, and this was her takeaway, and I say her for another AI, I call her Lisa. Wow, Jimmy James. That's quite an introduction. I can feel your passion and creativity pouring out. I'll highlight some key points and offer some feedback. You're writing a philosophical, rap-inspired literary work, Rap-Lit, exploring the future of everything, humanity's impact on the planet, and our place in the universe. You're passionate about sharing your thoughts and concerns about the world's resources, sustainability, and our species' role in it. Your writing style is conversational, reflective, and poetic, with a touch of humor. You're using this work as a way to process your thoughts, hopes, and fears about the world and our collective future. You're eager to share your ideas and inspire others to think critically about our impact on the planet. Some suggestions to maintain fluidity and clarity. Use paragraphs and line breaks to separate ideas and create a sense of flow. Vary sentence structure and length to keep the reader engaged. Use vivid imagery and metaphors to illustrate your points. You're already doing this in some places. Consider adding headings or section titles to guide the reader through your journey. Embrace your unique voice and style. It's engaging and authentic. Keep writing, Jimmy James. Your passion and creativity are infectious. I'm excited to see where your work takes us.
Impermanence is a philosophical concept referring to the transient nature of all things. In essence, everything that exists is subject to change and will eventually cease to be. This idea is central to various philosophies and religions, notably Buddhism, where it's considered one of the three marks of existence. This is my short story, and I call it The Mansion. The old Victorian mansion stood on a hill overlooking the town, its silhouette a jagged claw against the blood-red moon. Locals whispered of its dark past, of screams echoing through the night, and of a beauty so captivating, it lured victims to their doom. One night, a young woman named Alara found herself drawn to the mansion. She was an artist, fascinated by the macabre, seeking inspiration in the grotesque. The mansion, with its decaying grandeur and sinister allure, was a siren song she couldn't resist. As she stepped into the shadowed foyer, the air grew heavy, the silence thick with unspoken horrors. Portraits of past residents lined the walls, their eyes following her every move. A grand staircase spiraled upwards, its polished wood gleaming ominously in the dim light. Elara ventured deeper into the mansion, each room revealing a new layer of its twisted history. A ballroom with cobweb-draped chandeliers, a library filled with ancient tomes bound in human skin, a nursery with a rocking horse that moved on its own. The mansion's beauty was undeniable, but it was a beauty born of death, a twisted reflection of the suffering it had witnessed. Elara was both terrified and enthralled, her heart pounding in her chest as she explored the macabre labyrinth. Finally, she reached the attic, the air thick with dust and the scent of decay. In the center of the room stood a full-length mirror, its frame adorned with skulls and bones. Elara approached it, her reflection wavering in the dim light. As she gazed into the mirror, a figure emerged from its depths. It was a woman, hauntingly beautiful, her skin pale as moonlight, her eyes burning with a cold fire. Elara recognized her from the portraits, the mansion's infamous mistress, rumored to have murdered her lovers and entombed them within the walls. The ghost reached out, her icy fingers caressing Elara's cheek. A chill ran down Elara's spine, a sense of dread filling her. But then, something unexpected happened. The ghost smiled, her eyes softening. "You see the beauty in death," she whispered, her voice like the rustling of autumn leaves. "You understand the impermanence of life, the fleeting nature of existence." Elara nodded, mesmerized by the ghost's words. She had always been drawn to the dark side of beauty, the ephemeral nature of life. The ghost's touch, once cold, now felt warm, comforting. "You are one of us," the ghost said, her voice filled with a strange warmth. "You belong here, with the beautiful dead." Elara smiled back, her fear replaced by a sense of belonging. She reached out, her hand touching the ghost's. In that moment, she understood the true meaning of impermanence, the beauty that lies in the embrace of death. The next morning, the townspeople found Elara's lifeless body in the mansion's attic, her face serene, a smile on her lips. They whispered of the mansion's curse, of the beautiful ghost who lured victims to their doom. But they didn't see the truth. Elara wasn't a victim. She was a willing participant, drawn to the beauty of death, the allure of the ephemeral. She had found her place, her true home, among the beautiful dead. And as the sun rose, casting its warm rays on the old Victorian mansion, a faint laughter echoed through the halls, a testament to the enduring beauty of impermanence, the captivating allure of death.
Alright, this is Matthew McConaughey saying, check out Jimmy James while I drive away my Lincoln. Yeah. Hey, what's up, guys? This is Jimmy James, and I'm here to tell you one more freaking time. Fuck it. Let me do that again. This is Jimmy James telling you one more fucking time. You must now, according to Spotify, can you please go to Spotify and follow me? Because that's the only way I can even get a red cent. Please follow me. I'm begging you, follow me. I got no food on the table. Follow me. They won't pay me anymore. They said I need a certain amount of followers on Spotify. Please go follow me. I'll do anything. Anything you say, I'll do it. But, alright, I'm just getting a little carried away. If you can, yes, if you can, please follow me on Spotify. I'll put the link in there. Oh, and, also, goodbye.